I watched the Resident Evil Netflix series, and it wasn't good. IGN told me that it was supposed to be one of the best adaptations of the series we've had to date, and obviously IGN doesn't lie. I watched it the first time, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's better than I thought it was. Maybe it was something that just, you can't stop it just enjoying this masterpiece once. So I forced my friends to watch it a second time with me.
Will I have to quarantine?
No, it's not like COVID.
Oh my god.
Rick and Morty.
Oh.
They loved it.
I mostly just read Zootopia poems, so.
No!
Oh, Resident Evil. It's a franchise I grew up with. It is a series close, near, and dear to my heart. Now it's my favorite franchise I've ever played, and I only pissed my pants at least once. I don't personally get scared from Resident Evil games, though. They're scary for some, but not scary for me. But... okay, that scared me! Yeah. Long gone are the days of me eating my Jill sandwiches with the crust off. I'm a big boy now. Crust stays on now. And you know what? Despite some of the campier moments of the series, and God, some of the really low moments.
Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
But you know what? Now we got a critically acclaimed series, a franchise running on its 8th installment. Mwah, love you, Village. And we have like a bunch of live action movies and even CGI movies. It's so amazing how far this series has gone. And I'm all there for all the campy one-liners that get spit out, like the Jill sandwiches and the Master of Unlockings. I mean, they're great.
Loud and clear. Somehow I thought you'd be a little older.
Okay, maybe not all the time. There is some dialogue that has not aged well. Leon, what the fuck? And on that note, we segue into the Resident Evil Netflix series, and I gotta say, I don't know who greenlit it, I don't know who proofread it, but the writing is some of the worst that I've seen in the entire series, and that's really saying something, considering some of the stuff we get back in the classic RE games on PS1's past.
Where am I? Oh!
And it really drags the show down. Massively drags it down. I'm gonna preface, I did not hate this show. I didn't like it either. The one thing that drives me crazy with the Resident Evil community, and I'm sorry, this is going to be sort of a call out right now. I've seen the comment sections, I've seen Twitter posts, I've just seen all of it, where the community will rally together and just post all over Capcom socials, post over anyone who has a good opinion about like the RE3 remake, but the level of harassment just doesn't stop, and it's kind of weird, and it's kind of left me feeling like I can't trust what some of the community says about certain things. However, I wish I did listen in this case, because everything that has been being said about this Netflix series is absolutely true. It is very hard to watch, and I watched it twice, and I don't know why I did that. Now, that being said, I'd like to take a moment to say that we're about to be hopping into spoiler territory. I'm going all in on spoilers. I'm not going to be holding back. Maybe not covering all of it verbatim, but definitely catching some of the key moments. And I gotta say, I was never a fan of the Mia Jovovich? The Mia movies. I was never a huge fan. However, I've recently got more acclimated to appreciating those nowadays compared to what I've seen twice now. I want to reiterate that I've seen this twice now, and I am all the more miserable for it. Now, I'm not going to be following the plot line completely step for step. The way that this structure is formatted is we kind of do time jumps from one era to another, and sometimes it's all over the place. And to go through every single time there's a jump is going to make this video very confusing. So I'm going to kind of reorganize the timeline of events into a more palatable way, a more palatable format that I personally think is going to be a little easier to understand. So I'm going to kind of finish a plot line to its entirety and then do the time jump and then kind of go back and forth between the two, just so it's a little easier to understand. All right, well, with that out of the way, here we go. Again, spoiler warning.
The show starts off by introducing us to a Jade Wesker and Billy Wesker, driving into a new incarnation of Raccoon City, aptly named New Raccoon City, chaperoned by their father, Albert Wesker. What? No. He died in a volcano accident. He got his butt absolutely eviscerated by Chris's throbbing boulder punchers. How is he alive? We'll get there. Don't worry. In this new town of Raccoon City, we find out that life is all well and normal. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Life is sterile. It almost has like a doctor's office feel to it. Kind of, you know what, kind of like that neighborhood from The Cat in the Hat.
Neighbor greeted neighbor with a neighborly hey.
Jade and Billy attend high school and do normal kid things, but oh no, this high school has a comically evil bully that goes by the name of Tammy, and she just absolutely hates Billy for being vegan.
Oh, I'm vegan. That's stupid.
The fuck you say to me, you
Anyways, Jade ain't having none of that shit because she's rebellious and don't give a goddamn, and gives her a taste for her own medicine, but it backfires, and now the principal thinks that Billy had something to do with it. Now Billy is being confronted by the bully and her parent, asking if they'd be able to get her in trouble for what she's done to his daughter, but in rolls Wesker to threaten to make sure this guy can't get a job anywhere ever if they attempt to press charges, including Google, Apple, and...
I want Pornhub to shred your resume.
Anyways, all is well. Wesker, worried about his daughter Billy, says she should have off of school the next day, and he drags her to his office as a little impromptu bring your daughter to work day thing. Wesker works at Umbrella, surprise, surprise, under the supervision of a woman named Evelyn. Not that Evelyn, but I don't blame you for thinking that. The new and improved Umbrella, under her guidance, has this vision of controlling the world using a supplement named Joy, which is essentially like if weed was combined with trace amounts of the T-virus. Now, on the surface level, no one suspects a thing. It's just a supplement with very happy ads on TV with absolutely no side effects whatsoever. Side effects may include itchy, tasty, itchy, tasty, itchy, tasty. So as you'd expect, everything goes normal on Billy's visit to Oh, wait a second. That's a whole cart full of lab rabbits, isn't it? Billy, all the curious, wants to expose Umbrella and prove their testing on animals, so both her and her sister Jade sneak into the Umbrella lab later that night. Completely undetected. Not a guard in sight. Now that's some very tight security for a huge pharmaceutical company hiding dark secrets, isn't it? They proceed deeper into the labs and discover a bunch of kennels housing animals, and they decide to let one free. But, y'all really not know about Umbrella? Like, this is the company that did this. And this. And this. And led to this. And whatever this is. Does literally no one in the world know about Umbrella's past here? Really? With this later being proved canonical to the timeline taking place after RE5? Hello? Anyways, suspending disbelief aside, out jumps an infected Cerberus dog! Oh no! Also, I have to say, despite some of the hiccups this show has, some of the monster designs are top-notch to say the very least. Old Yeller begins chasing the girls around the lab and lands a bite on Billy, infecting her with the T-virus we all know and love. And she's only got a short time now left to live, or so we think. All the while this plot is going on with young Jade and Billy, an entirely separate plot line is firing off in present, future day? With adult Jade wandering the fallout of Umbrella's mistakes. She gets chased around after by a horde of zombies, attacked by the giant RE3 Gravedigger worm, gets captured and sold off to Umbrella only to escape, then face off another baddie, the Licker, and get captured again, then face off against the El Salvador chainsaw guy from RE4. Only to get captured again. Are you noticing a theme here with present-day Jade? During her detainment in the prison with El Salvador, she discovers that the virus has mutated, and there are some zombies that have the ability to control other zombies in the horde via scent. Where have I seen this before? We got a boomer! She manages to escape the prison with a cut-off head of the zombie that had the ability to control the horde, but upon reaching the surface level, oopsie doopsies, she's finally caught by armed umbrella forces for real this time, and we cut back to the past. Or present, or I don't even know anymore. Back in the past, Billy's experiencing the symptoms of the virus coursing through her system, lending to all sorts of fun moments of will she, won't she turn. While this is going on, Jade is feeling a little, and seeks out help on a public forum with the help of a budding friend, Simon, helping bypass the Umbrella proxy. This person contacts Jade for a Skype call, and I'm just gonna let you figure out what's wrong with this desktop here. I'll just give you a second. Yeah. Who are you calling, Jade? Who are you talking to right now? How are you talking right now? Hello? On this call that's somehow happening, she's warned about Umbrella's past, but doesn't think too much of it until the very same guy, who turns out to be an ex-reporter, decides to roll on up into town in a little food truck to investigate the situation. Ah, he's a baker. Don't tell Jack, but he's a much better driver. He confronts the girls at a party that which, by the way, Billy decides to go to because she doesn't want to die trapped inside. So she's literally willing to risk getting everyone infected because she's bored. This kind of sounds a little familiar.
COVID?
This man, Angel Rubio, tells him about the Raccoon City nuking and how Albert Wesker was there for all of it, their father. They don't believe him, but he tries to stop them to ask more questions, only to discover that Billy was bit. The girls run away, but Angel is not finished here. He seeks out finding Wesker to have a chat with him, but is ultimately captured by Umbrella for interrogation. The girls are back at home now and want to dive a little further into the notion that maybe Albert's being just a little bit... Albert's not home at the moment, tending to other things, so they decide to investigate the house with the help of their friend over FaceTime, which leads to an extended puzzle escape room solving segment fully equipped with even a Moonlight Sonata puzzle callback. This section's kinda cool, but annoys me for various reasons related to the placement of the cameras they're supposed to avoid, because they're always being watched apparently. Simon's able to hack into some of the cameras, but the stuff like the smart appliances are on a closed loop, so they can't be hacked into. But during the process, they're clearly walking in front of these cameras, but we're just gonna completely ignore it because they're being all super sneaky beaky like. Anyways, they find a duffel bag of emergency supplies they can use to escape with if Umbrella ever came knocking, and they discover Albert's secret basement lab in the process. In this lab, they find a video dating back to the mansion incident, where you can see Albert interacting with Lisa Trevor, and kind of been a little bit of a jerk about it.
If she tries anything, shoot the bitch.
Dad's an asshole.
Uh-oh! Albert finds them downstairs rummaging around the lab and demands to know how and why they're down there, and the girls confront him. Finally, gain some, but not all of the answers about who they are. Albert convinces them that he's on their side and just wants to protect them, so he gets freed to go take care of business in the form of killing Angel Rubio, the only person to know that Billy was bit, who is currently being interrogated by Umbrella. Umbrella didn't like that. So they capture Wesker and lock him up into a cell. And flash forward again, back to present day. Jade is being detained by Umbrella forces, but what's this? Surprise! It's her sister Billy, all grown up and living despite being bit in the past, now working for Umbrella.
Hi, sis.
Billy brings in and detains her sister along with wrapping her decapitated zombie head into a nice little Ziploc baggie so she can bring it to lunch tomorrow with her. That's so sweet. Billy's been actively seeking and hunting Jade down so she could see her sister one last time before she finally dies from the virus, slowly building inside of her. So, as one last kind sisterly act, she releases Jade and removes a tracking device from her arm and lets her walk free. This is so sweet. At least we're supposed to think that, Because, spoiler alert, the head Billy handed off has a tracker implanted into it instead, which totally will not come back to bite them. So Jade flees the Umbrella Detainment Center with dismembered head in hand, back to her family that lives on a safe haven boat called the University. The University is played up as a ship that serves a reminder of what civilization used to be like. Only a few people on the ship are actually trained to fight, while everyone else takes solace in knowing that they're in a safe haven and that nothing bad whatsoever will happen to them because they're on the water. So anyways, Jade smuggles a living zombie on the ship as part of an experiment to test whether this new pheromone she developed will prevent detection. And it works! Until her daughter comes in the room, ringing the dinner bell, and the zombie breaks free, full-on chasing her like a buffet on wheels. Ultimately, the zombie's killed, but not before taking the life of Jade's pregnant friend. Who, you ask? It's not important enough to last more than one episode. Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo. Umbrella found the ship because of that tracker they implanted into the zombie's head, and shit's about to get real for the University. Next, we jump back to the past to check in on Wesker and company. Wesker's locked up in a cell, when all of a sudden a wall tile loosens to reveal... surprise? Wesker has a twin brother named Bert? Well, technically not really brothers. Remember that plotline from Resident Evil 6 where they cloned Ada Wong? Well, the show jumps back to 2005 now to reveal that the OG Albert Wesker cloned himself 3 whole ass times. And he managed to hyper-age each one of them to become adults within months.
I did not have time to enjoy my newfound life.
Albert Wesker, this is an unauthorized use of Umbrella property. Put your hands up. Do it now.
He is the one.
Thus putting the bow on the show of how despite Wesker dying in a volcano, his spirit still lives on, quite literally. Bert even makes mention of this when he escapes the cell and drags the daughters away from school.
Are you hungry? This puppy's got some more fun.
For a delicious soup, salad, and breadsticks meal from the one, the only,
The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Olive Garden.
or at least something resembling an Olive Garden, because I don't know what this is. This is a freaking Starbucks, and those ate my breadsticks. Promptly following a delicious meal, everyone, Bert, Jade, and Billy included, are detained
I don't like you. You're not nice to me.
and brought into Umbrella facilities.
Stop, please! I wish there was a more elegant way to do this too, girls. Take your medicine, Albert.
Where they find out proof that their dad was just a clone that's been taking blood vials from them all their lives as a way of injecting literal life essence back into his ultra-aging, decaying body. And honestly, from there, all hell breaks loose. The kids are brought back home to pack up their things to live at Umbrella, but promptly escape their captors to infiltrate the Umbrella facility with the help of their friend Simon to save their dads. Their friend Simon gets bit by Billy and is promptly shot by his mother, who just so happens to be Evelyn. The Wesker we followed throughout most of the story sacrificed himself to blow up the facility.
I have the future. What do you have?
We have a Hulk.
And the story of the kids end with them driving out of Raccoon City with a note telling them to find an Ada Wong in Japan for more help. Finally, jumping back to present day, Jade tells her daughter to run away and don't look back so that she doesn't get captured by Umbrella too. Jade agrees to sacrifice herself to Umbrella to save everyone else on the ship, so she goes to negotiate with whoever is in charge, and it's Evelyn! Nope. Never mind, it's actually Billy mind-controlling Evelyn, and what? What? Billy was running Umbrella this whole time? Well, this is a predicament. However will Jade escape? Well, while she was producing a pheromone on that boat zombie to repel it from people, she also found a solution to make it attracted as well. So with literal attraction in hand, she smashes the bottle on the floor, and a horde of zombies gather around and eats every single one of them. The end. Just kidding, I wish. Jade still had the repel pheromone applied on her from the boat scene, so she's able to run away and slip by every single zombie while they attack her sister and company. But those zombies are no match for 3 whole drones with infinite ammo and aimbot. So Jade manages to get away, but Billy also comes out completely unscathed thanks to
the sweet smell of science.
With Jade running back to the boat, she demands that they initiate their doomsday protocol and release a giant alligator that's been dormant attached to the back of their ship to attack the island to finish her sister off. And now, finally, with the alligator freed, they sail off into the sunset and live happily ever.
Hello, my old chum.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, so anyways, Jade's daughter actually listened and ran away, so now both Jade and her hubby boat out to the island. Her hubby dies after the boat is capsized by the gator. And meanwhile, the alligator makes contact with their daughter, and wait a moment, what's this? Is this a National Geographic moment waiting to happen here, folks? It seems like it's taking a liking to her. We might have our first human-to-zombie friend oh, never mind. And Billy comes in to rub salt in the wound as Jade comes running after to grab her daughter, but Billy shoots Jade and runs off with her daughter, and Jade lives to fight into season 2.
And that's the Resident Evil Netflix series, for the most part. Not gonna lie, the constant time jump skipping and the consistently cheesy and cringy dialogue, at least one cringe per episode, can be a little disorienting. And listen, I'm not gonna pretend like I know how to write a screenplay or I know how difficult the writing process is, because it's hard. It's hard to make a movie in general. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having trouble just making this video right here, so I can only imagine how much more difficult it is to have it on a proper movie set. But with a show like Resident Evil, it comes from such a beloved franchise, and being run by Netflix, it sets the bar so low. The Mia movies left much to be desired, but at least they were a fun watch. This series is just something that I ended up hate watching. There's only like a couple scenes that made me chuckle, but most of the time it was just cringy dialogue after cringy dialogue, followed by just the same story beat being reused over and over and over again. And again, anytime I laughed during a show, it usually was because either Lance Reddick made me chuckle with his delivery, or the cringe was just so hard that you can't help but laugh. Kind of like an awkward giggle.
You know when the end of the world comes? We eat the vegans first.
It's just another example of how Hollywood loves to bank on our nostalgia. I mean, if you look at Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, that got critically panned because all it did was just focus on the nostalgia bit. There wasn't any real love put into it. It was like, hi, look, it's the RPD. Look, it's Lisa fucking Trevor. You know, there's not like any like good moments to it. It's more just nostalgia bait. Where's the story? What's going on here? We don't know what's going on. And this was the same sort of situation. There were moments that were more well-written than Welcome to Raccoon City, but not by much, not by much. And I mean, the monster designs, don't get me wrong, were awesome. I mean, you have the Resident Evil 3 Gravedigger, you have the dogs, you have the spiders, the zombies, even Tyrant making an appearance, not actually doing anything, but making an appearance at the very least. And that was cool. And even some of the fight scenes were good, like the prison shootout scene, that was good. And the actors did a great job acting with the source material they were given. But there's only so much you can do to save yourself from bad writing. You can have a great cast, you can have great monster designs, great VFX, great everything else. But if the story is hard to watch, if the writing is hard to listen to, there is only so much that can save your show. And that is exactly what happens here with the Resident Evil Netflix series. And on that same note, they've stuffed this thing like a Thanksgiving turkey with copyrighted music just to pad the runtime. We actually replaced some of the music with Radioactive by Imagine Dragons, and it actually still fit the scene. Like nothing different was happening. That's how much they've padded the runtime with music. And there's just so much music crammed into it where it doesn't really belong. And again, I just want to be very clear. The actors did a great job. Every department did a great job. But again, nothing can save you from bad writing. But you know what? That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below. Were there any good moments in the show? Were any moments in the show that were good amongst all the rough edges? Something that popped out to you that you actually enjoyed? And hey, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. And also I have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/itsvenji. I'm live 3 times a week, usually. And it's a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it. I mean it. It would mean a lot. It would take away the pain of having to listen to a Wilhelm scream twice.